Catholic Charismatic Renewal. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The Catholic Charismatic Renewal is a movement within the Catholic Church. Worship is characterized by vibrant masses, as well as prayer meetings featuring prophecy, faith healing and praying in tongues. This movement is based on the belief that certain charismata, a Greek word for gifts, bestowed by the Holy Spirit, such as the abilities to pray in tongues and to heal, which Christians generally believe existed in the early church as described in the Bible, should still be practiced today. A dove, symbolizing the Holy Spirit, who is believed by Christians to confer various gifts. A Catholic church in Ann Arbor, Michigan describes charismatic prayer as a charismatic style of prayer is common at Christ the King. People are free to raise their hands in prayer, and during songs, many pray their own prayers audibly, some pray in tongues, etc. They pray with expressive or charismatic prayer at monthly parish prayer meetings, at the beginning of parish meetings, and most especially during certain moments in the Holy Mass. These are some of the external markers of a charismatic parish. Internal markers include a radical surrender to the Lordship of Jesus Christ in all parts of life, a strong adherence to the gospel and the teachings of the Catholic Church, and the pursuit of strong friendships centered on Christ. 1. The origin of the Catholic Charismatic Renewal. Pentecost by El Greco. The Catholic Charismatic Renewal as it exists today is the outgrowth from a retreat held from 17 to 19 February 1967 by several faculty members and students from Duquesne University, a Catholic university in Pittsburgh operated by the Congregation of the Holy Spirit, a Catholic religious order founded in France in 1703. Many of the students, though not all, claimed to have experienced a movement of God's Spirit called being baptized in the Holy Spirit. The professors had previously been baptized in the Spirit a week or two before. Believers felt that God's action was also prepared for in a very human way by the students' prayerful preparation in reading the Acts of the Apostles and a book entitled The Cross and the Switchblade. What happened quickly spread to graduate students and professors at the University of Notre Dame and others serving in campus ministry. The movement was given a major endorsement by Leo Joseph Cardinal Sandins, 1904 to 1996, a leading cardinal in the Catholic Church and one of four moderators of the Second Vatican Council. Catholic Charismatic Renewal. Today, the Eucharist being elevated during a Catholic Charismatic Renewal healing service, in which the faithful not only pray for spiritual and physical healings, but also for miracles. Praise and worship during a CCR healing service. As of 2003, the Catholic Charismatic Renewal exists in over 230 countries in the world, with over 119 million members. 4. Participants in the renewal also cooperate with non-Catholic Christians and other Catholics in providing a common witness for evangelization, as encouraged by the Catholic Church. The charismatic element of the Church is still as evident today as it was in the early days of Christianity. Some Catholic charismatic communities conduct healing services, gospel power services, outreaches and evangelizations where the presence of the Holy Spirit is felt, and healings and miracles take place. The mission of the Catholic Charismatic Renewal is to educate believers into the totality of the declaration of the Gospels. This is done by a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. A one-to-one relationship with Jesus is seen as a possibility by the charismatic. He is encouraged to talk to Jesus directly and search for what the Lord is saying so that his life will be one with him. to walk in the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5:22-23, this is what the charismatic understands by giving his life to Jesus. Conscience is seen as an alternative voice of Jesus Christ. The charisms identified in St. Paul's writings, especially in Romans 12:6-8, 1 Corinthians 12-14, and Ephesians 4:11-12, continue to exist and to build up the Church. See Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2003. The 9 charismatic gifts considered extraordinary in character include faith, expression of knowledge and wisdom, miracles, the gift of tongues and their interpretation, prophecy, discernment of spirits and healing, 1 Corinthians 12:8-10, cf. Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2003. These gifts are related to the traditional 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit described in Isaiah 11:1-2, wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, piety, and fear of the Lord, as listed in Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1831. The 9 charismatic gifts in 1 Corinthians 12:8-10 are also related to the spiritual and corporal works of mercy. 9 other references to charisms in the Catechism of the Catholic Church include sections 688, 768, 799-801, 890, 951, 1508, Charism of Healing, and 2035. Reaction from the Church hierarchy. Pope John Paul. To the initial reaction to the movement by the Church hierarchy was cautiously supportive. Some initially supported it as being a harbinger of ecumenism, greater unity of gospel witness among the different Christian traditions. It was thought that these practices would draw the Catholic Church and Protestant communities closer together in a truly spiritual ecumenism. Today, the Catholic Charismatic Renewal enjoys the strong support of the hierarchy, from the Pope to bishops of dioceses around the world, as an officially recognized ecclesial movement. 3 popes have acknowledged the movement: Pope Paul VI, Pope John Paul II and Benedict XVI. Pope John Paul II stated that the movement was integral to the renewal of the entire Catholic Church. Pope John Paul II, as well as then Cardinal Ratzinger, now Pope Benedict XVI, acknowledged good aspects of the movement while urging caution, pointing out members must maintain their link to the Catholic Church. Pope John Paul II, in particular, made a number of statements on the movement. On November 30, 1990, the Pontifical Council for the Laity promulgated the decree which inaugurated the Catholic Fraternity of Covenant Communities and Fellowships. Brian Smith of Brisbane, elected president of the executive of the fraternity, called the declaration the most significant event in the history of the Charismatic Renewal since the 1975 Holy Year International Conference and the acknowledgement it received from Pope Paul VI at that time, saying it is the first time that the renewal has had formal, canonical recognition by the Vatican. In March 1992, Pope John Paul II stated, at this moment in the Church's history, the charismatic renewal can play a significant role in promoting the much-needed defense of Christian life in societies where secularism and materialism have weakened many people's ability to respond to the Spirit and to discern God's loving call. Your contribution to the re-evangelization of society will be made in the first place by personal witness to the indwelling Spirit and by showing forth His presence through works of holiness and solidarity. Moreover, during Pentecost 1998, the Pope recognized the essential nature of the charismatic dimension. The institutional and charismatic aspects are co-essential as it were to the Church's constitution. They contribute, although differently, to the life, renewal and sanctification of God's people. It is from this providential rediscovery of the Church's charismatic dimension that, before and after the Council, a remarkable pattern of growth has been established for ecclesial movements and new communities. Pope Benedict XVI affirmed the charismatic renewal during 2008,